So I guess now you have to go to your hairdresser and ask for the least racist haircut possible. Because, hair is racist. Hey there everyone, welcome back to a little bit more internet nonsense. Today we're going to be having a look at an article. This was written over a year ago. I'd had no idea that it came out. But it's called Why It's Not Okay for White People to Have Dreadlocks. And no, you can't use the Celts as an excuse. I don't know why using the Celts would be an excuse. It's kind of just a part of history. I know that you guys have trouble understanding history if it doesn't refer to black people specifically, but you might want to broaden your horizons a little bit. It's actually a good thing, I promise. You've probably seen the video of a black woman assaulting a white student over his dreadlocks in San Francisco. Why is assaulting in quotation marks here? It was an assault. She put her hands on him. He asked her to back off. She grabbed him and refused to let him leave. How is that not assault? No doubt you've seen Justin Bieber's unfortunate blonde dreadlocks in recent days. Yeah, but to be fair, Justin Bieber really isn't that good of a role model when it comes to fashion. I remember the pictures of him meeting our former prime minister, and he looked like a drunken farmer. Really, it's not a good idea for anyone to look up to him for how to look in their daily life. There seems to be confusion about why people are angry. Let me explain why. Oh good, an explanation. Let's do this. Okay, I'm ready. Tell me why people are angry. In this article, a black man will tell you why white people should not have dreadlocks. That's right, all you white people. It's time to sit down, shut up, and listen to this black guy that you don't even know. Because clearly, he knows everything. He is God. This is by no means intended to oppress any white people who reassure me they have Jamaican friends and are avid drinkers of Red Stripe, so having dreadlocks surely doesn't make them appropriate of black culture. Hair is not black culture. Hair is not culture. Hair is hair. It's just hair, dude. You need to calm down. Having dreadlocks doesn't mean you are a racist person, and sure, you may not have meant to piss people off, but that doesn't mean that dreadlocks on white people exist in an anti-race vacuum. One of the earliest recordings of dreadlocks is in Indian culture. It was used to portray on the deity Shiva, okay? It is not specific to black people. There's the Indians, there's the Celts, which you seem to dismiss for no reason. In the Bible, there are passages that say if you want to be closer to God, you let your hair grow out and let it knot and mat the way it would. It's just a natural thing that happens. If you don't wash your hair, if you don't take care of it, it will get greasy and it will mat together. Sure, dreadlocks have appeared in different unconnected parts of the world over time, so you may attribute it to Egyptians or Celtic fairy locks. Yeah, so you admit right here, it literally has nothing to do with race. So explain to me why you're so pissed off that people like the idea of having dreadlocks, they think they look good in it, and so they do it. But really, the source of its current popularity is largely due to the life and death of Marley and the apparent humanist movement he created. A, cite your sources. B, why is the humanist movement apparent? If he inspired it, if he created it, it's not apparent, it just is. Now, I don't know why people choose to wear dreadlocks, but there seem to be a few reasons why. If you wear them as an appreciation of black culture, then by wearing dreadlocks and perpetuating white privilege as a result, then you aren't actually harming the black diaspora in the UK? If you truly cared for black people and not just our culture, you wouldn't want to wear dreadlocks. And I'm going to explain myself in a very well-mannered and expressive tone with all of these examples that I'm about to... Oh. Secondly, if you wear dreadlocks because it looks cool, then you're still perpetuating white privilege and you've chosen to be ignorant of the significant contemporary history, such as all of these wonderful examples that I'm going to cite right... I know I already used that joke, but seriously, it's the only counter-argument I need for this. He is the one making the claim. The burden of proof is on him. It's not my fault that he dropped the burden of proof down a 10-story flight of stairs where it fell crippled and bleeding in the basement, never to see the light of day again. Finally, if you wear them because you think it symbolizes a humanist ideal, then you've attached the wrong political meaning to them and instead you're damaging the anti-oppression movement for which they truly symbolize. Who are you to say what it symbolizes? It could mean literally whatever you want it to mean. So who are you to tell anyone else what it's supposed to mean, the right way to use dreadlocks? I'm gonna skip the next two paragraphs because I really don't want to read the entire thing. But then here's the next paragraph. Even then, fairy locks aren't even really dreadlocks. It's just tangled hair. It's called fairy locks because they say a fairy tangled your hair in your sleep. It's not conscious, and not all Celts even deemed it attractive, so it doesn't stand as an argument about cultural sources of dreadlocks. Alright, this is a shoe. In Canada, we call them runners. In America, they call it a sneaker. This is still a shoe. It doesn't matter what word you attach to it, it is still generally the same thing. It doesn't matter if you call it fairy locks or dreadlocks, it still means a general hairstyle that looks relatively similar. We're gonna go through the end of your argument too. You say that not all Celts even deemed it attractive. But then where's your proof that all African peoples deemed it attractive as well? All Egyptian people thought it was attractive. I want to see a historical consensus that all African peoples, that all Egyptian peoples, that all of whatever peoples thought that it was attractive. Because by your logic, if I tell you to pick the top 5 celebrities that you would bang in a heartbeat, and I come back and say, well, I don't find those people attractive, therefore it doesn't count, that's not an argument. That's something a 5-year-old would say. And lastly, your idea of it not being conscious. So prove to me that it was conscious in old times too. Prove to me that hundreds and hundreds of years ago, your hair matting together was a conscious effort. It doesn't matter that it wasn't conscious. If I lived all that time ago, I would be more concerned about other things. I would be concerned about where I'm getting food, water, shelter. If I was gonna be mauled by a bear or something. My appearance and my hairstyle would be literally not even close to my conscious mindset. And trust me, my hair would mat together and it would end up looking like dreadlocks. Your argument is nonsensical. It doesn't matter in terms of what dreadlocks are, because guess what? It is just a hairstyle. The only reason that we've become obsessed with hairstyles in the past couple of decades is because we have the time to be able to change it. For a couple hundred years at least, we have been able to have the free time to put in conscious effort into our looks. And not because we were rich, but just because we could. People for the past few hundred years have been making hairstyles just because they like it, because they think it looks good on them. So how is this any different with dreadlocks? How is it any different than, hey, that person over there thinks they look good with dreadlocks. Okay, cool. What does that matter? If you're wearing them and don't believe in white privilege and are not doing anything to make yourself an ally to black liberation, then it's appropriation. 1. Doesn't matter if you're wearing them, it's a hairstyle. 2. No one has to believe in anything. Some people believe the earth is flat. Some people believe that God exists. Some people believe that there are monsters in their closets and under their bed. Believing in something doesn't make it true. 3. If you are not doing anything to make yourself an ally to black liberation, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but black people were liberated a couple of decades ago. The only thing holding you back is you. Here's the ending of the article. These last points that he's trying to put up is absolutely ridiculous. I believe in equality and I am an advocate for it. Even though this entire time I've been telling white people that they can't wear dreadlocks because they're not black people. I would love to be able to say we can all share everything as if we are equals, but we're not. There are very few people on this earth that actually believe that your skin color has something to do with who you are as a person. Yes, those people are racist. They are always going to be out there. But the majority of the world doesn't think like this. So stop pretending that they do. Appropriating black culture and perpetuating privilege will not get us there. After all, neither Marley nor any Rastafarian would agree with the political, or rather apolitical, outlooks of many white people with dreadlocks that I've met. 1, I don't care what kind of white people with dreadlocks you've met. It's probably been 2, and they're probably stoners. Number 2, I would love to see this quote from Bob Marley saying that he doesn't approve of white people with dreadlocks. I went and looked up a couple of Bob Marley quotes myself. Let's look at them, shall we? Oh, here's the first one. Every man got a right to decide his own destiny. Because clearly you, with this article, are not trying to impose on anyone else on their right to decide how they live and how they're destined to be. Let's keep scrolling down a little bit. Oh look, here's another one. Judge not before you judge yourself. Judge not if you're not ready for judgment. I would love to see you write up an article about how you're judging yourself and how you're so terrible and da-da-da-da-da. I want to see you rip into yourself before you can rip into anyone else, okay? But that's it for me today, guys. I decided to try this a little bit differently. Not really so much research-based, more opinions. Let me know if you guys like it. It's something that I wanted to try, and I'm not sure if it's working, so just tell me what you think. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you on Friday.